I mean, your typical bands, Churnwalker, Varya, are a lot of your typical like mainstream bands, but so we'll see who StormGuard Saga follows it up with.
Yeah, it should most likely be the Varia. It would be a little bit silly to let the Varia go over to ILiveYouDie. She's essentially a broken hero right now, in the 2.12 patch. So if you don't ban it and you do let the enemy team get it, you automatically put yourself on the back foot, unless they do have a comp that they've practiced against the Varia to try to expose the enemy team. So it's very interesting as we are waiting for the ban to come out from StormGuard Saga. Outside of the ban, what would you expect ILiveYouDie to pick up as our first pick?
I think probably going along more of the safer side, I can see like a Grace or an Arden, maybe a Blackfeather. Bit of the adventurous side would be seeing maybe a Ringo or something like that. But I do expect like a Arden or a Grace or something like that to come out.
Yeah, especially because they banned the Churnwalker on their first ban. So by picking up either Grace or Arden, like you've automatically shut down or locked down two of essentially 3 or 4 strongest captains in the game right now, which does narrow the enemy team picking up these meta picks, which we are seeing in the 2.12 patch. I don't know if StormGuard Saga are experiencing some issues with the draft. We will look to try to find out what is going on with the draft. But yeah, you mentioned Ringo in terms of kind of off-color pick. He's very meta to pick as a first pick for.
Yeah, he's a very meta for that first pick, but I do think that picking that roam and getting the perfect roam is the better solution. And yet there's the Blackfeather like I was thinking of.
Yeah, Blackfeather is so flexible, so diverse as a hero right now. We all know can go between the CP weapon power route. Does give the rest of your team, especially considering you're on the A side, you do give your team a lot of flexibility, and also it doesn't make it any easier, at least to begin with, for the enemy team to draft. But they go for the first pick of Vox, which is interesting. Vox, still a really strong carry, definitely one of the strongest in the game, but I actually wouldn't say she's as popular as, let's say, the Ringo or the Blackfeather at the moment, Blackinator.
Yeah, for sure, but I do kind of see where they're going, because one of the things that's really popular is that CP Blackfeather. And one of the key things about CP Blackfeather is landing those on points. If you're good enough with the Vox, the Arden band, you're able to use that Sonic Zoom to dash out of that on point, and that knocks away a lot of the damage and barrier coming out from Blackfeather.
Yeah, and I'm actually a little bit surprised they banned the Arden. I felt the Grace ban would have actually been stronger, unless they do intend to pick up the Grace in their second pick. So it's interesting. I actually think a Grace ban coming out from ILiveYouDie wouldn't actually be a bad idea. It would potentially make it a little bit harder for them to pick their captain, but they've banned the Ozo. Very interesting.
That's an interesting ban right there.
I kind of don't quite know what to make of it, to be honest. Maybe it's a bit of a throwaway ban. The Grace has now been picked up by StormGuard Saga. Very strong hero, but will require a last pick that suits the Grace, Blake. Because one thing, that is very known is what makes Grace so strong is when you have another frontline hero in the jungle that's able to really kind of go in. But the Lyra pickup is, I wouldn't say a direct counter, Blake, but definitely helps to shut down the Grace with her Bright Bulwark.
Yeah, for sure, because if you're able to block that Benediction, it gets rid of that engage by Grace and just gives you that advantage of being able to sit back and poke a little bit, because they don't have that front line to engage as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to see a bit of maybe a Samuel come out from ILiveYouDie as their last pick. Yesterday, I have to say, I saw some immensely strong Samuels that came out in the games yesterday. Blakeinator, so it wouldn't be a bad idea. It provides a lot of poke, a lot of siege, and just a lot of AoE damage. And maybe, gives Blackfeather that freedom to kind of frontline engage while Samuel's in the backline doing the poke that we all know that Samuel can do.
Yeah, Samuel would be a really good pick. I was thinking more like a Ringo pick, possibly going to CP Blackfeather, but we're going to see the Sky pick up, so I think that's a pretty good one. Sky's really good against Grace, being able to just dance around her Holy Nova and just build up stacks with that Dragon's Eye is just really strong against the Grace.
And also because ILiveYouDie have the Lyra, it's a lot easier to safely pick the Sky because Taka is countered by the Lyra. So that's a really strong pickup. It's similar to the Samuel, except for obviously Sky provides a lot more forward line in your face damage as opposed to the AoE that comes out from Samuel. But Taka is last pick by StormGuard Saga. They're trying to trust the Taka pick and hoping that with the right team engagement, Blake, that the Taka will pay off for them.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent pick because it does do really well against the Sky, and while Lyra does counter Taka pretty hard with that Bulwark, being able to just lock him down, if you play him right, you can still work around that and just have a really good match if you just time it in between the Bulwarks or stuff like that. Just a lot of damage, just gets that burst down and allows Vox to safely go in there and just build up those stacks if he's going that breaking point build, or burst him down if he's going like a tension bow build or something like that. And just really strong comps on both sides.
It is. I do think ILiveYouDie has picked up the overall stronger comp because they seem to complement each other. And even though Taka isn't necessarily a bad pick, because the Lyra heal and the Bright Bulwark provides so much CC and shutdown for not just the Taka but the Grace, it's gonna be quite hard, I feel, for StormGuard Saga to burst down or shake down any of ILiveYouDie.
Yeah, for sure. I would have to agree with you. I'm giving the comp advantage to ILiveYouDie. I'm really liking the Blackfeather Sky, having that Lyra there to give some heals on the front line for Blackfeather, as well as putting that Bulwark up to protect Sky from the Taka. Just overall strong comp, and just can't wait to see how they pull it off.
Yeah, I'm really kind of interested to see what happens. And ILiveYouDie, they've put on a couple of very strong performances so far in the NACL. I would actually feel stronger than StormGuard Saga, who I feel has kind of struggled a little bit to kind of get on their feet. This could be the game that StormGuard Saga really feel, that they've picked some comfort picks, that they do have a strong comp with the Vox as well. That's going to help provide a bit of AoE damage while still hopefully being aggressive at the right moment. And like a lot of games, Blake, it's going to come down to team synergy, the tight rotations. You want to make sure that the Taka farms up nicely and consistently. Once he gets the Aftershock level 6 procs, that the engagement comes in heavy from StormGuard Saga and they look to shut down either the Blackfeather Sky or even both as quickly as possible. So, this is hype. Guys in chat, put your hashtag ILiveYouDie or hashtag StormGuard Saga, who you feel or who you want to win in the first game of this best of 3 series.
Yeah, definitely going to be a really good match going on here. Just a lot of potential from both sides. The Taka being able to go in with that burst damage, but having to watch out for that Lyra is just going to be really tricky for him. And so I just can't wait to see these first early engages and just the great gameplay going on in this first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the Blackfeather, because he's such a strong hero right now, Blake. In the weapon power, he's most likely going to go for a Serpent's Mask, Breaking Point, first 2 items pick up. Then look to get the Atlas, I would believe, straight away. Maybe even a little bit of shield to protect against the Taka. And Vox is going to be his focus. And I think once the right Imperial Sigils and even Portals come out in Lyra, Blackfeather could be unstoppable in this match.
Yeah, and here's the interesting. We got the double crystal bit on Blackfeather, so it looks like they're going to be going a CP Blackfeather and a weapon Sky.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. You know why? Because Lyra is a backline captain. You know, is a ranged captain, and CP Blackfeather provides a lot of poke. Weapon power, Sky is strong as
sure.
over.
Now they are able to get that Elder Treant, Taka locking onto Sky. Sky getting a bit caught out, but we do see down. Grace is going to go down, so they are going to get that first blood, even though Sky gets killed. And there goes the flare. Going to try to pick up the Taka. Taka trying to get out of there. Pops his flask, and Solo Q getting low, popping his flask as well. Is going to go down, though. Vox going to finish him off. Can the Mystery 2v1? He cannot, and he's going to get out of there. So, bit of an advantage for... Yeah, StormGuard Saga there, getting the farm there from the Taka, so good engage on their part.
Well, yeah, because when you're CP Blackfeather, you don't have early game, really, to be honest. You know, CP Blackfeather takes 2 or 3 items to ramp up and hit his power spikes, whereas you saw the Taka has got double weapon blade to begin with. That makes Taka really hard and easy to be aggressive with on the first couple of rotations. And also the Taka is going to be able to farm up so nicely, so quickly, and hopefully be able to snowball the Blackfeather and starve him out of it. So that's really good stuff by StormGuard Saga. And I said, even though they have had a bit of a slightly struggling start to the NACL, this is the match where we could see them turn it around, Blake and Ailer.
Yeah, and like you were saying, really good early game for Taka in this matchup, but having that Grace there with him, getting that Holy Shield coming down from the Benediction for that early engage, gives them that tank they need for the early fight because there's not much damage coming out on both teams, and it just gives that engage and chip damage that Grace can put out to help him finish off those fights.
It does, but we're going to see that lane invasion coming out from StormGuard Saga, but I feel that Taka is kind of wasting his time being in this lane right now.
Yeah, there goes the on point. Gonna do some nice damage to Kodak. Holy Nova is gonna go off, but the barrier is gonna keep him from really losing much health. Getting a lot of that poke damage in is just really good for Mystery there, and the Sigil coming down to bring him up back to full health. So really good just poking and engaging here, just keeping the back lines and staying safe.
Yeah, like Vegito should be recognizing that Mystery is kind of up in lane, and how you help your team get ahead in the game, like, is by getting those rotations quicker than your enemy team. And it was great that Vegito rotated up the lane because it caused a distraction and it did force the Blackfeather to come up. But the second the Blackfeather came up, Vegito should have been like, okay, I'm going straight to my backs. I'm going to look to get ahead of rotation, get the mid-century again, although as the jungle intensifies. But either way, he could have even looked to invade ILiveYouDie's jungle, and as I said, just get ahead and try to help create that snowball effect.
Exactly, and like you said, the two ways to help your team win is you get your rotations ahead of the enemy, or you starve the enemy, which in turn is basically doing the same thing at the same time. And that's going to be a nice engage. Sorry, I kind of spaced out there. But Rose Offensive is going to pick them off. They're going to be able to take up the Grace there. And that's going to be a nice double for ILiveYouDie. So they're looking to come up to this Vox. And Solo Q going to port right in front of Vox. Be like, we just killed your teammates. Are you going to come out and help?
Well, that was just a lot better structured rotation coming out from ILiveYouDie. The second they all noticed that the Taka was in their jungle, the Sky wasn't pressured in lane, really, was able to rotate down, and they just shut down both the Grace and the Taka's a really good map awareness and communication coming out from ILiveYouDie. Not saying it was a bad choice to try to invade from the Taka Grace, but make sure that, let's say, the Vox is going to be able to rotate with you, or you are communicating with your carry to say, look, we're invading. Will you be able to come down and help us? Because as I said, lane was not pushed either side, and Vox is not the hero that is able to take advantage of the carry, go rotating down and push in and get a turret, unlike somebody like Ringo. So interesting stuff coming out, and just as I said, better rotation from ILiveYouDie in the early stages of this match, Blake and Ailer.
Yeah, for sure. And looking at these builds, we do see the Serpent's Mask on Vox and the Shiv on Sky. So we see the immediate counters like right away there. Just enacting with that Serpent's Mask to drop down that lifesteal and that regen that he can get from the Serpent's Mask.
Yeah, but I don't understand why Elf for Life has gone Serpent's Mask. You're against Elira and a Blackfeather. You need Poison Shiv. Never mind the fact that Poison Shiv is such a strong item.
You see the Death from Above coming down is going to lock onto the Grace and stun her, but Blackfeather getting kind of low. Going to see Fountain come off from Lyra. They're going after that kill. Mystery getting really low, but is going to be able to get out of there and get some poke off into Elf for Life. Taka going onto the Sky trying to get out of there. The Shiv is doing some nice damage. Going to reveal him with a forward barrage, and there goes the Imperial Sigil to get him out of there. Was a very close engage for both sides. Almost saw Grace go down, and Taka almost able to kill that Sky, but it's going to be a pretty even fight there, though.
Yeah, pretty even fight, and again, as we're seeing another rotation, but fantastic Bright Bulwark initially by Solo Quest Frost. Really good stuff. Nice reactional plays coming out. And as I said, you know, ILiveYouDie are just playing a slightly better rotational type game right now. Not saying StormGuard Saga are making any mistakes. It's just they're somewhat, at least initially, they're kind of being out-rotated a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You're seeing a little bit more coordination coming out from ILiveYouDie, and just that rotation coordination is what keeps your team alive and gets you those wins.
Well, yeah, it's just going to help your team, you know, gain map control and map awareness, especially as we are seeing the gold mine is full in this nearly 8 minute mark, with L for Life was just looking to port back in kind of the wrong position. But I feel that ILiveYouDie could nearly go for a gold mine at this stage, because I feel like they have a stronger amount of map control so far.
Yeah, for sure. We are going to see the breaking point get picked up on both Sky and Vox. I do like Sky's position here. Having that Shiv to counteract the Serpent's Mask and just the greater attack speed is going to help him get those stacks a little bit faster.
Yeah, it definitely will. I want to talk a little bit about the Dragon's Eye pickup that came out from Mystery. I feel that's really strong against the Vox and Attacker, because he's going to be able to build up stacks. So Lyra providing the heal means he's going to survive in these team fights a little bit longer. And as I said, the Dragon's Eye is just going to do a much better job, I feel.
Yeah, first item, Dragon's Eye, really strong on Blackfeather. It looks like he's going to follow it up with that Aftershock, which is going to give him that little bit of a cooldown, as well as that proc damage coming off from the Aftershock is going to be really good against this team.
Yeah, it is. And as I said, Elf for Life has gone for a breaking point second item. Good choice from out there.
We're going to see the Benediction coming in. Holy Nova is not going to land onto anyone. Wait for it is not going to connect, so no silence coming down. He's getting some nice damage off on Solo Q Frost, though, building up those stacks. Elf for Life just putting in work right now. And oh my goodness, the on point is going to take him down really far. The execution from the Fan of Heart is going to finish him off, and that's going to be the first kill. They're looking to go after this Taka trying to get out, but they are not going to be able to escape. Going in for the ace is going to do some nice damage with that on point, but that looks like this might be first turret for ILiveYouDie.
Yeah, very strong shown by them in the mid part of this game. They've got the turret. They could even go for gold mine or crystal sentry, as the scout trap does kind of vision them out a little bit. But yeah, that team fight engagement, the Bright Bulwark just doing an immense amount of job. And Kodak Black on the Grace, you know, I actually think he got a little bit scared in that team fight, and whether it's a miscommunication between the StormGuard Saga, the Grace didn't want to keep engaging, but the Blackfeather and Vainsocial just kind of kept on going and got shut down for it, as well as the on-point Dragon's Eye damage with the 11 stacks that happened at that point. Did eventually get to 12. Just was disgusting that came out from Mystery on this Blackfeather. So really strong again from ILiveYouDie. They're showing just a better structured approach to this game. They do have a 3k goldie, which isn't necessarily a lot, but if they keep on going, it's going to increase rapidly.
Yeah, for sure. Looking to get some nice poke damage off on Solo Q Frost, but I mean, Imperial Sigil is just gonna bring him back up. Blackfeather is coming up, but he's gonna get swarmed by all three of them. Wait for it coming down. Is gonna silence him, but he's gonna be able to get out. Kid Edgar is looking to get some stacks, building them up pretty quickly right now. Taka trying to get out and is going to not get revealed by that forward barrage from Sky. So on point is going to connect, though. Mystery doing really well with connecting these and slowly building up these stacks. Has a level 10 infusion, so they are looking to engage here.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I want to mention is that
nice Imperial Sigil to speed him up. Flare's coming down. They're going to try to pick up the Taka, but Taka is not. Oh, nice Bulwark is going to shut him down a little bit. Not quite going to block that Exaretsu. The Death from Above not quite going to connect. And Taka going in with the Exaretsu on Mystery is not going to kill him yet. Is going to get healed by the... Oh my gosh. That damage coming out from Mystery is going to take out the Taka, and then Rosa Fence is going to finish off the Vox. And Holy Nova not even going to go off on the Grace. That's going to be a triple for Blackfeather and a gold mine for ILiveYouDie. The damage coming out from that Dragon's Eye. Whew.
It is, and that's... I was going to touch on it before that. That's what engagement. I actually think that's what Vegito and the tactics should have gone for. Even though, of course, Aftershock is standard for Taka. When you have a heal comp where the Grace got... Echo so early in this game, which is really good item pick.
Yeah, for sure. Echo early game is going to give them a lot of that early healing. Getting that double divine intervention is going to just be nice for these team fights. But yeah, just so much damage. I do agree with you though. Taka getting a Dragon's Eye first, I think would be really well, because Grace can keep him alive and keep these fights going. If he can build those up, he's going to do massive amounts of damage. Exaretsu is going to go down, and Solo Q Frost is getting really low. But here comes the damage coming out from Blackfeather, and the Atlas going off. Death from Above is not quite going to connect onto Vox. Vox goes down from a Rose offensive coming out for Mystery, and they're looking to finish off this ace. Suri Strike in is going to be able to do some nice damage on Taka, but the Kaku is going to get him out. Is he going to be able to get away? No, they're going to see him go into the bush, and Kid Edgar is going to be able to finish him off. Are they going to get the ace? Looks like Mystery is going to be able to finish him off when they're on point and a few basic attacks, and that's going to be an ace for ILiveYouDie. Another great engage by them, and you just see the damage coming out from that Dragon's Eye is just so massive and helping out in these fights. So they are going to be able to get the Crystal Sentry off of this and get that second turret, a little bit of damage off on that choke point turret from the minions, and going to get this whole rotation. Man, they're just taking such a snowball lead. Got about a 7k, just under a 7k gold lead right now. And they're just doing so well in these fights. Lots of coordination, and just the damage coming out from Mystery, able to burst them down so quickly, is just massive in these fights. So looking at the builds here a little bit, we do see the, saw in that last fight, Blackfeather just jumping onto the Vox, getting that Atlas off, just really strong there, and we're going to see the Shiver Steel coming out on Vox. That's an interesting pickup. I've never seen that out on a Vox before, but getting that slow I think could help out. Now having the attack speed buff, it's not terrible to pick up on him. But a very interesting pick. On point, almost going to connect to the Taka. Taka going to go with the Exaretsu, do some nice damage onto Mystery. Wait for it, is going to go down. He's going to get silenced. Holy Nova going to get the double stun, and he's going to Rose offensive. The Atlas gets blocked. Is he going to be able to get out? Taka looking for blood. And there goes the Sigil. The on point is going to give him the barrier, but he is going to go down. But Sky going to be able to finish off that Vox at 18 breaking point stacks, is looking to do some nice damage. And Vox goes down. Can he get the triple? Oh my goodness. The Arcane Passage messing with Taka's just maneuverability, and just walks right back into the fray, and is going to go down. That's going to be another ace for ILiveYouDie, and looks like they're going to be looking to take Kraken right here, right now.
Yeah, I do apologize about that, guys. I did suffer a slight technical issue with Discord, but yeah, going based on what I heard you say, it seems like it hasn't changed for StormGuard Saga, that they've just been shut down time after time by ILiveYouDie. And kind of, you know, take me through real quickly, as the Kraken has been captured by ILiveYouDie. What happened in the last ace that caused ILiveYouDie just to dominate?
Yeah, it was a really good engage for StormGuard Saga. Blackfeather was coming down, doing a little bit of scouting ahead of his team, a little bit caught out, and you just see the Exaretsu come out onto Blackfeather, getting a nice chunk out at that start, and they just were able to swarm onto him. He was trying to get out. He almost got out, but Taka was able to hunt him down, but they left the Grace behind, and that was able to give Sky the stack she needed to get her down. And when she came up to fight the Taka and the Vox, she was already at 18 stacks. So the damage coming out was just massive and was able to get that easy triple kill for that case.
Weapon power Sky is definitely something to be
Wait for it coming down is going to not connect onto them after the Holy Nova gets a double stun. Taka going in with the Exaretsu is going to do some nice damage. Blackfeather getting really low, and Taka trying to get out with the Kaku. The Divine Intervention is going to come up and heal him up. Mystery is going in, getting really low. Vox doing some nice damage. The On Point is going to try to save him, but he's going to get taken down by the Vox. And Kid Edgar is trying to survive on a limb here, but that's going to be an ace for StormGuard Saga. But the Kraken going to finish off those last turrets. Can they take it down in time? They probably will, but good engage on their part.
Good engagement, very aggressive engagement that came out from StormGuard Saga. Actually quite well structured and positioned. Full credit to L4 Life by just being really aggressive, looking to build up the stacks and feel that good damage that comes out with the Surface Max. But one item I question very heavily coming out from L4 Life is that Shiver Steel.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I was talking about that a minute ago, and it's crazy. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that.
It doesn't make sense. Shiver Steel is for a jungle hero that is looking to engage onto the enemy carry and slow down. When you're a Vox, never mind the fact that you're against a CP Blackfeather that provides a lot of poke. Shiver Steel isn't really going to do anything for your team. In these fights, it might be decent for a 1v1 situation, but as a full-on teamfight engagement, there is so many better items that this Vox could have gotten.
Yeah, for sure. I think a Bone Saw would have been a much better item, or a Sorrow Blade. The counter argument I can put towards it, possibly, is the fact that it does have the attack speed now, but I still think that it's a questionable pick. But we're going to see Grace going with the Benediction. Holy Nova is going to get blocked by the Crucible and looking to just do some nice poke damage, get those stacks up by Kid Edgar. And Taka going deep is going to do some nice damage. Suri striking away. The Holy Nova is going to get the double stun, and Vox just building up those stacks. Mystery trying to take him out. Taka is going to be able to finish that off, though. And Sky is going to go down. The Holy Nova is going to take and stun him, and Taka is going to be able to finish him off. The root by the minion. Can we say Winion? EU Treant for the win.
EU Treant, man. It comes down to me being this EU caster casting in NA. You know, the Treant is channeling its inner EU damage. But again,
did you smuggle in an EU Treant into this game? I thought this was NA Treants only. Gosh, man, you're ruining the fun.
What do you think I was doing when I disconnected, mate? I was smuggling it in. But anyway, I want to talk about the engagement by StormGuard Saga. Really aggressive stuff by Life.
Oh! The Imperial Sigil Steel on Lyra, well-timed, putting it in there to just wait for that moment, and that was a really well-timed play by Solo Q Frost, stealing the Kraken and giving them a possibility to counter-push, because the low-health Grace is just gonna go down by the Sky. Oh, no, not quite, but just a great engage. They're distracting him right now while Kraken gets that push, still at pretty much full health, and this is just a great play by Solo Q. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Arcane Passage over the wall! They're gonna go look at get some damage. Oh, they're gonna get this Crystal about half health, and Kraken's gonna be full, ready to get this push. And just nice damage coming down. Kraken, 3/4 HP. Crystal's already halfway down. And Solo Q Frost might have just won them the game with that Kraken steal. Oh my gosh, MVP right there.
I feel bad because I kind of talked through that Kraken being kind of captured, and I suppose I was so impressed by the engagement that came out StormGuard Saga that I didn't really think that it could be stolen. I just thought it was automatically theirs. But oh my sweet divine Jesus, Solo Queen Frost, you absolute beautiful Lyra, Imperial Sigil for the win, and you know, it does somewhat echo the dominance that ILiveYouDie had overall in this match. But I don't want to take away anything from the strong showing that came out from StormGuard Saga in this late game. Their positioning was a lot more aggressive. The Vox was following the Grace, and the Taka was being very menacing. So, they definitely have the capacity to win these team fights, Blakeinator, and to win a game. But you got to question the builds coming out from the Vox and the Taka, Blake. I just don't feel like there was enough damage coming out from the Vox. His positioning was aggressive, and he was building up those breaking point sacks, but I don't get why there is no poison shift, and I really don't understand overall why the Shiver Steel was picked up instead of either Bone Sword, Sour Blade, or even Spell Sword. So I think if they adjust their builds, they definitely have a chance of taking the second game.
Yeah, for sure. I think they could have just dished out a lot more damage if they would have gotten, like you said, a bone saw, even a tornado trigger, because it's just more attack speed or damage or pierce. Because you get the crit, you get the attack speed. It's still better than the Shiver Steel. I mean, yes, Shiver Steel gives you health and it gives you attack speed and that's slow, but you don't really need the slow. You have the Taka to chase him down. So
exactly.
You want to dish out that more damage because Taka can go in there with the Exaretsu and the Kaiten, burst him down with his attacks, and you just continually just nag on them with those basic attacks, slowly building up your stacks.
Exactly. So, as I said, like, we're going into the second game. I do hope that StormGuard Saga are not in any way deflated, because they did put out a strong performance in the second game. It was only I wouldn't even say lucky, it was a disgustingly beautiful Kraken Steel that came out from Frost that kind of gave StormGuard Saga the loss, because if they had a secure Kraken, all of them would have gotten the Kraken buff, would have healed up nicely, and it could have been a really good turret push from Saga if they had to capture it. But look, that was the last game. That's what happened. It can't be changed. What do you expect coming out from the second draft? Because I feel both teams did draft pretty overall excellently on each side in the first game. Are you expecting something similar in between bans and picks, Blake?
I think we could probably see something pretty similar. I think they did a really good job. The weapon, Sky, was not expecting it, but it worked out really well for them. Those early engages, the mobility was just really strong. And that late game, yeah, they were starting to lose those fights a bit late game, with that Taka starting to build up his damage. But man, solo Q Frost, I can't get over that Kraken Steel. That was oh man, perfection.
It's what it is from a caster's point of view. Even though I feel so sorry for the players, it's what you want to see as a caster, because it hypes up the game so much. It can really turn it on its head. Even though ILiveYouDie had kind of secured a lot of the game at that stage, it was hype, Blakeinator, just absolute amazing hype, and I hope we are going to see similar in this second game. We are just getting ready to try to get the second draft set up for you beautiful people at home. As I said, put in chat who you want to see win, whether it's hashtag StormGuard Saga or hashtag ILiveYouDie. Express who you want to see win the second game of the best of 3 series.
Or if you're one of those people who doesn't like to pick sides, you don't care who wins, be like hashtag sweep, hashtag comeback kings, hashtag underdogs if you're excited for the possibilities in these next 2 games.
Hashtag Blakeinator,
There we go.
Anyway, but yeah, so look, but on a slightly more serious note, yeah, I want to just talk a little bit more about the drafts. StormGuard Saga, they really did well being on the B side. We both did slightly question.
And we are
As we
getting
are
into the
actually,
second
yes.
draft. So we got the Churnwalker and Varya bands, pretty similar, and we have Blackfeather Vox again, but this time Blackfeather on StormGuard Saga sides, and ILiveYouDie has the Vox. So going to be a really kind of a swapped back and forth game this time. See how they can pull it off.
So are they going? They banned the Ringo. I believe that was the band that came out, or was it? No, it was the Arden that came out from StormGuard Saga as a ban in the first game. I Live You Die, taking away the Ringo. They have the Vox Blackfeather is picked up on the side of Stormguard Saga. They banned the Taka. I think that's a pretty good choice. And now this is a fast draft, Blake.
Man, yeah, they like have that momentum and that thought process of what they want to go, and they're just like, let's not waste time. Let's get these heroes picked, and we're gonna see the Arden come out. It was banned last time, but I think is a really strong pick on a Blackfeather, especially if he goes weapon, going in there, doing some nice damage, and being able to just jump onto that Blackfeather, give him that barrier and that speed boost, just give him that little bit of an edge he needs in that fight.
Yeah, and I think Stormguard Saga are going to go last pick for Sky, I feel, because Tack is off the table. Sky does somewhat counter the Grace. And then, no, they've gone for Celeste, a
Ooh,
hero who is strong, Blake, but not exactly in meta, and does make it potentially easy for ILiveYouDie to pick up something like a Koshka or Reza that can go with the Grace, go for the dive and look to shut down the Celeste early game.
yeah, I agree. I think Oreza would be a really strong pick in here because you get a lot of that nice burst damage coming out. You can dive in and just do massive amounts of damage, and then having that little bit of an escape with his ultimate is just really strong. I think that would be a really strong pick for them. Ooh, the Ozo. Oh, snap. I like it. Oh, what are your thoughts on that, man? Ozo, last pick, no Lance or anything to just block them off, is going to give him full reign to do a lot of bouncing there, and is just going to be a great chance for them to just burst them down, and it's going to give them a really strong early game.
Yeah, it is. So it's something that we like to see in this game. And yeah, Ozo strong going into this less, and that's really not a bad choice. The only thing is these core collapses coming out from Celeste are gonna have to be absolutely fantastic, because if they're not right and the Ozo is able to get onto the Celeste, it could be very much GG, especially if we see an aggressive Vox and aggressive Grace coming out from ILiveYouDie.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to Ozo. You don't see him play too much, but when he does come out, he always just puts in his own flair. Just the massive early game damage, the sustain, and the impossible bounces that you can see from an Ozo in an engage is just so crazy.
It is, and it's nice to see these somewhat off meta picks, still strong but off meta picks, Blake, because we've seen the Celeste and we've seen the Ozo picked on this second game, and like I said, they're not really heavily picked right now in the meta. They're strong in their own ways, but compared to the likes of compared to the likes of other CP heroes like Samuel, Sky, and compared to other CP junglers like Koshka, Alpha, and Blackfeather, Celeste and Ozo have fallen off the table a little bit. So to see them in this game, not just in the game, but against each other, really good stuff, and I'm excited for this, Blake.
Yeah, it's going to be really strong. Being able to get that burst damage in there with the Ozo and just jump on them, and having Vox come in on the back lines and just dealing his damage once he gets that breaking point. And we'll see if he goes to Sorrow Blade, Tension Bow, or just what he decides to go. But coming in from the back lines, going in and just helping him out as he bursts down the team with the shielding from Grace's Benediction is just going to be a really strong potential for this team comp.
Yeah, I'd like to see a poison shift picked up from a black feather and an Eve picked up after maybe something like a Dragon's Eye Eve of Harvest coming out from Elf for Life, just to kind of help build up those stacks, and then the Eve of Harvest will help just provide a little bit of heal once oh my god, I forget the name of her A. My humble apologies, absolute brain freeze.
The benediction.
No, the Celeste.
Oh, the Celeste,
God,
Heliogenesis.
Heliogenesis. Oh my god, shoot me now. That was terrible by my side.
I could not tell who you're talking about because Discord problems.
Sorry. Just the Heliogenesis coming out with the Eve of Harvest will potentially, help keep Elf for Life alive in these team fights.
Yeah, Elf for Life getting a little low, though, in taking this farm, but it's going to get both the heals and get pretty much back up to full HP. And looking to get a nice engage. Both teams coming in at about the same time. Both, both level 2 right now. And we see ILiveYouDie going in on the engage. And he's going to be able to get it up with the third pounce of his 3-ring circus. Going to be able to dodge the core collapse with his acro bounce, doing some nice damage. And we just see the Heliogenesis Supernova coming out is going to get them kind of low. But Kodak, and there goes the bounce, can do some nice damage. Going onto the Celeste. Celeste is going to core collapse out of there. Not quite going to be able to take him out, but looks like Mystery is going to be able to finish off the Arden, and Vox and Grace going to be able to take out the Black Feather. So they're going to be able to get the backs, and that's going to give them a huge advantage in this early game.
It is ILiveYouDie just showing a high level of early game dominance in this game. Continuing on with where they left off in the first game, and they do have a stronger early game comp, so it makes sense for them to just keep the aggression up. The Ozo is just so in your face that it's really hard in the early stages for Elf for Life to keep up to with him or to in any way counter engage him. So great stuff by ILiveYouDie.
Yeah, for sure. And we do see that it's a Jungle Celeste and a Lane Black Feather. I think it's a really strong Jungle Celeste is in some ways better than Lane. You don't get your items built up at fast, but getting level 8 as soon as possible is really, really strong. Once you get that level 8, you get the extended reach of your Heliogenesis. Nice core collapse is going to land on Kid Edgar, as well as a Heliogenesis, and do some nice damage. Just a little bit of poke. But yeah, once you get that extended range, you just do so much more being able to pokes from a lot further.
Yeah, definitely, and I'd like to see good rotations coming out from Elf for Life, because I actually feel StormGuard Saga have a pretty decent early game siege comp where they could even look to take down the first turret in the 4 or 5 minute mark if their rotations are tight, on point, and they even potentially get a kill on the likes of Edgar. So, there's potential there, but they've got to make use and take advantage of their comp. And this is where fear and what I saw from StormGuard Saga is their lack of tightness and positioning in some team fights and in some games can really go against them. Hopefully this will be different.
Yeah, for sure. We do see Vegito, though, doing a lot of poking in this lane a lot on Kid Edgar. But we're going to see the Benediction come in, going to stun Kodak out of the Vanguard. The core collapse is going to land onto the Ozo, and he's going to be able to get out with the 3-ring circus second proc. Give him that dash, looking to get some poke with those Heliogenesis, but Kid Edgar just doing some farming, and just that resonance poke is putting in work.
Yeah, one thing I just want to point out, look at that beautifully sneaky scout trap that came out from Solo Quest Frost. Every single time L for Life goes to her backs, she is seen on the Celeste. Absolutely visioned out of it. So really good stuff by Storm Queen Frost. And that really helps ILiveYouDie really, sorry, I'm trying to find the right word, dictate their rotations to take advantage of these team fights and engagement.
Exactly, because if you know that Celeste is at her backs while you see the Arden or the Black Feather up in the lane, that's one person not in that fight. So if you see that and take action to get up there as fast as you can, get a gank in, you're in a 3v2, and that gives you a heavy advantage when you already have a good lead and damage output advantage.
Exactly. So, you know, we're seeing a bit of an early game.
There goes the Acro Bounce, doing some nice damage on IL for life. Gonna get the stun off, followed by the Holy Nova. Is going to try to get out of there. We'll also be able to finish him off. The Solar Storm is going to come down, and the Acro Bounce looking to finish off the Black Feather. Green Ring Circus is going to be able to take him out, followed by Benediction is going to finish him off. That's going to be first kill in this engage, and they're looking to go for the turret, just ignoring the Arden. It's going to be a definitely advantage for them. Going to get a turret as well as the Celeste.
Thank you very much, ILiveYouDie, for doing what I love to see from teams. Not focusing on the enemy hero. Okay, now they are, but they do pour back. But when you see you can take a turret, you go for it.
And the kid Edgar gonna be able to finish off Kodak. Kodak not seeing him come up from the jungle, and oh man, Ozo coming back in, gonna be able to finish off the Black Feather. That's gonna be another double kill and some nice damage going off on this turret if Celeste can't defend it. Ooh, Core Collapse is going to land on Mystery, going to be able to not able to engage on the Acro Bounce. And Solo Q Frost getting low from the Crystal Sentry. Oh, finally finding the Scout Trap. Oh, man. So much for their vision.
RIP vision, but you got to say it lasted over 6.5 minutes. That was the best 50 gold spent I've seen in a long time on a Scout Trap. Solar Storm coming out does miss all of ILiveYouDie, and that cheeky taunt comes out from the grace of
Phantomheart
ILiveYouDie.
is going to try to jump onto the Vox. Vox getting really low. Can he get out the on point? Not quite going to connect. And they wait for it is going to go down and get him out of there. Kodak getting really low. Vegito was looking for a kill, and he almost had it, but missed that on point and wasn't able to follow up. Was able to get under the turret for Kid Edgar, and the Acro Bounce coming down, not quite going to reach Vegito, and he's going to book it.
Yeah, Poison Shift first item pickup by Kid Edgar is really strong, easy. It's a nice item to use, gives you sustain, gives you attack speed, and when you're able to kind of negate the healing coming out from the Black Feathers on point, it's going to make for a strong item, not only as a 1v1, but also as a team-wide pickup and engagement. You know, the Poison Shield standard, it's why it's so strong right now.
Oh man, and I love this pickup from Grace, picking up the Dragon's Blood contract. So it's going to give that slow, that little bit of burst damage coming out. It's not much, but it does count. Every hit point counts. Every hit point matters. So getting that slow is going to be very useful for the Ozo. Being able to slow him down so you can jump on him.
I don't understand why that wasn't bought at the start. And I feel that at this stage, yeah, okay. Just choice for an item slot.
Yeah, I mean, there are some better item slot options, but I think it's just a really interesting pick. We're going to see the Acro Bounce come in, going to do some nice damage on to Vegito, and he's going back in, going to go onto the Celeste, doing some nice damage. Celeste goes down. The Gauntlet comes up, but is not going to help. He's going to get stunned out of his Bangarang, though, and Vox going in for the kill. He wants to finish it off, and that's going to be an ace for ILiveYouDie and a second turret. Are they going to push for a third turret, or are they going to go gold mine? Looks like they're going to push for that third turret, that choke point. Oh, man. Can Celeste hold him off?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, she can't. Oh, my goodness. They got the turret. Nice engage. Going to do some nice damage onto Mystery. Mystery getting really low, but they're going to be able to get out of there. There goes the choke point turret, and that's just going to be a really good ace by ILiveYouDie. Able to get 2 turrets out of there. Oh, man. Look at that gold lead. Almost just over 5K. Whew.
It's just like, oh, but it's as I said, ILiveYouDie are doing what I want to see from the teams, taking advantage of a team fight win. They got 2 turrets. It's just, it's beautiful. It's somewhat symphonic coming out from their team. They're 8 kills to 0. they do have a 6k, over a 6k gold lead.
Oh, there goes the Acro bounce going onto Vegito. Gonna get some nice damage that third bounce, taking him down by about quarter HP. There goes the Divine Intervention, gonna get him back up to some nice health. The Holy Nova is gonna get blocked by Crucible, but there goes Fountain from the Grace, and they're looking to re-engage. Core Collapse is gonna land onto Kid Edgar. The Wait For It is gonna come down, and Ozo going on to the Celeste, but Celeste is gonna be able to finish him off. Kid Edgar, can he finish off the kill right there? Get L for life. L for life, running for his life right now, as says his name. And he's not quite going to be able to get him. And there's... Oh my goodness. Can Vegito do it? Can Vegito do it? No, there goes the Benediction. And Kid Edgar is going to be able to finish him off. And that's going to be a kill onto the Black Feather. Looks like a pretty even trade. Kodak looking to get a kill here, but can Kid Edgar kite fast enough? Looks like he will be able to, and that's going to be nice stun by the Gauntlet. He's going to try to get out because L for Life is looking for the kill. Man, I thought he was going to get that Arden. Not quite able to do it. Oh, there goes Divine Intervention. Going to be able to re-engage. Kid Edgar doing some nice damage. Acro Bounce coming down, and there goes Celeste, but the Heliogenesis is going to be able to finish off the Vox. But that's going to be a double kill. Ozo looking for the triple. Oh, trying to get Ozo caught in the root, but not quite going to be able to do it. Acro Bounce coming down, and there goes Vegito. That's going to be an ace for ILiveYouDie and a Sentry Life.
It's just unfortunately falling apart for StormGuard Saga. In this second game, ILiveYouDie, it felt like the first game was a warm-up for them, Blake. They've taken so much control of this game that, you know, I feel like not much, but L for Life, don't go in there, you're gonna get exposed.
Oh, Kid Edgar looking for blood. This is gonna land the Core Collapse on him though, but that's gonna most likely be Goldmine for ILiveYouDie. Can he get the steal with the Heliogenesis? He can! That's gonna be an immense gold payout! Great steal by L4 Life, getting a little bit of revenge from that Kraken steal last game. Be like, you can steal the Kraken, I can steal Goldmine. Let's do this.
Ah, absolute hype. Anything you can do, I can do better. L for Life, you absolute beautiful savior. This is why I stayed quiet during that Goldmine take. Because I felt it in my bones, my spidey senses tingled that L for Life was going to be able to take it, and by God, didn't do it, Blake.
Are you sure it's the spidey senses and not the Irish senses?
It wasn't spidey senses, it was my leprechaun senses. That tingled.
There you go. See, embrace the leprechaun, let it out, follow the rainbow and you will see the steals. Oh, Kid Edgar going in, just doing some nice damage. Atlas is going to come down. Core Collapse is going to get blocked by the Reflex block. And Benediction comes down. Solar Storm doing some nice damage onto the box. Ozo is going to be able to finish him off. Divine Intervention is going to come down and heal box. The Echo getting him some more healing. He's going to be able to sustain long enough. And he's going to get the... Oh, no! Oh, Vegito, can you get out? Oh, Benediction's not up for 5 seconds. Can he get away in time? Looks like he's not going to be able to. Benediction is going to finish. Oh my goodness. The Jukes. The Jukes. What is this? Vegito, you should be dead.
Nah, it's Blackfeather, man. He's got such mobility and structure, but the Grace going to come down.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, Ozo finally got him. Thank you. Oh, man.
Yeah,
too much
that
chase.
Vanguard by Clutch, it was just really good stuff. But yeah, like, even though that was a fantastic Goldmine steal that came out by StormGuard Saga, it's really only a drop in the ocean for how much they really have to do to try to get back into this game. As we see the 14-minute engagement come out from ILiveYouDie.
Yeah, just really strong gameplay going out for ILiveYouDie. Just the engages that they're just able to pull off. Vox going in there and just not being as afraid, was able to melt down L for Life just really quickly. L for Life not having any defense. And Vegito looking for a possible Goldmine steal. Can he pull it off? Following L for Life's footsteps. The Solar Storm! Oh, and he's going to be able to steal it. The Phantom Heart is going to pull it off. Another Goldmine steal, but he's going to get the Bangarang off onto the Celeste. Celeste goes down from the box, and they're just chasing. Oh, man. Another Goldmine steal, but didn't really do much. They're going to get a double kill here, and it's going to put him even more behind. Oh, man.
No, but it is holding up. ILiveYouDie from it's somewhat like, as I said, even though it's a drop in the ocean, one drop becomes two drops. Like, you know, two drops become three, and next thing you have a turnaround, a river of absolute beauty can flow down, and we see two gold mine steals. The Kraken is up. Could we see a Kraken steal, Blake? Hype yourself up in chat, guys. This is
Oh my
very
goodness.
much
It's like the first two gold mine steals. They're like throwing a pebble in the ocean. It doesn't do much disturbance, but that ripple, the ripple effect, can just snowball so hard. And can they get the Kraken steal? Edgar doing some nice damage right now. The Acrobounce looking to get it, and Ozo's gonna do it. Not quite gonna get it from the Faint of Heart. It was a good try though. Bangarang is going to stun L for life. He's gonna block the core collapse, and Ozo's gonna be able to finish that off, it looks like, or will he get away? Oh my goodness. Will he or will he not? That is the question. Core Collapse is going to come out and it's going to stun the Ozo. Benediction coming up is going to slow down Kodak. He's looking to bounce, get that gap closer, but not quite going to be close enough, and they're going to be able to get out of there, and they're looking to push with this Kraken. Going to be a nice push. Might be a game ender right here.
I have a feeling it could very well possibly be a game ender, even though they are a little bit low in health.
Core Collapse is going to come down, it's going to stun him with the Divine Intervention, and is going to heal him up pretty well. Mystery taking a lot of damage. Acrobounce coming down is going to block the Solar Storm damage with a Reflex block. And another Divine Intervention going to get him pretty healthy again. Oh, nice timing with the jump. Just barely misses the stun from the Gauntlet, but he is going to go down. Grace is trying to get out. It's going to take some damage from the Sanctuary. He's going to go down. This is going to be an ace, but Kraken full health is going to at least get this second to last turret and a few shots off on that last one.
Yeah, that was really good stuff by StormGuard Saga. They aggressed hard. They knew, like, that they had to look for team fight engagement at that point, because if they hadn't given ILiveYouDie any room for maneuver, that Kraken would have done even more damage, and it could well have been game over. So really good stuff by StormGuard Saga. They are showing their persistence. It's not over till it's over, Blake. I will always say that. You could turn around, you could say it's a 10k goal lead, as we're looking at it, over 11k goal lead coming out from ILiveYouDie. But have they finished the game? No, they haven't. It's still in a chance for StormGuard Saga to turn this game around.
Yeah, and as you were saying, if they hadn't have engaged there, it would have given Kraken more time to pelt their turrets. And look at the turret's HP. Even with that great engage, their last turret was still almost taken out. If they would have given up any slight bit of room for them to maneuver at all, that turret would be dead, and that would give just another worry on their back for a backdoor.
Exactly. Especially with the Grace Blackfeather Ozo, you have the potential of being able to shoot it down. So good.
Yeah, we see StormGuard Saga sitting in that bush waiting for an engage, but they see they're not going to come down. They're going to try to push the lane, so they're going to go up, try to join them, but looks like Ozo's looking to possibly collapse on them. And they're coming down. The rotations, Faint of Heart onto the Ozo. Ozo acrobouncing onto the Celeste. Core Collapse is going to come down, but it's going to get blocked by the Crucible. Solar Storm going to do some nice damage. Fountain coming out on Grace, but Vox is going to be able to finish off Celeste. The Divine Intervention is going to bring Vox back to pretty high health. The Wait For It is going to get a nice silence off. Vox does go down, but not before he can get off some nice damage, and Mystery is just going to finish off Kodak with that bounce. He's going to take down Vegeta really low, and the Benediction is going to finish him off. That's going to be an ace, and that's going to be game 2. Game 2 for ILiveYouDie. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they even though it wasn't over till it's over, but it looks like it is over indeed for ILiveYouDie. They're going to take this series 2-0, and you know, StormGuard Saga, they put up such a good showing, not just in this game, but even in the first game, Blake, and I feel like they're on the cusp of just so many good things within their team. They just have to keep focused within the game, play to your team power spikes, and then with the right engagements, you have the potential of winning the fight and taking the game. Boy, look, ILiveYouDie, Blake, they dominated rotation after rotation. built up that gold mine lead. They took turrets, they took objectives, and overall that did lead to them winning the second game and taking the series 2-0. Great stuff from them.
Yeah, really great job. You saw L for Life actually did a really good job on the Celeste. He was starting to deal some nice damage, but they had way too much sustain. The Ozo just having massive sustain in general. The Shiv on Vox putting up some nice, just keeping him alive so well against that Eve and that Serpent's Mask. And then the Echo on the Divine Intervention from Grace. Just nothing they could do. They just kept getting health after health after health and was just wailing on him fight after fight after fight.
Yeah, and just one thing I kind of noticed that I felt could have been adjusted slightly within StormGuard Saga in the second game. The gauntlets that came out from Arden, I felt they should have been put out a little bit earlier within the team fight. I understand he was maybe trying to save it for the right moment, but when you're against a dive comp, sometimes the best moment is pretty much straight away. And you can even kind of help shut the enemy team down. The gauntlet would have really helped stop the Ozo getting onto the Celeste. Would have given both the Celeste and, well, the Celeste a chance to build up the Dragon's Eye stacks just that little bit more. Especially late game when Arden had the double gauntlet. It could have been put out. Wild carding, it could have been put out again and again. So, you know, the gauntlets were always going to be so important in this game, and that's just the one ability and one point that fell on the wayside for StormGuard Saga.
Yeah, it was just really great matches, and I'm glad all of you who were able to come out and join us for this first match of NECL tonight. Great way to start off the night. We got more matches for you later this evening.